greatest common factor of larger numbers. We have 84 and 102. So we'll start dividing by three numbers. We'll start dividing by 2 as many times as we can. Then we'll divide by 3 as many times as we can. And then we'll divide by 5. Just those three numbers. So this will be our calculator. And whatever's here is what you type in your calculator. So we start with 2. So type in 84 and then divide by 2, and then press enter, and you should get a 42. So what that means is that 84, I'll put a little arcs here, breaks into 42 times 2. Okay. Now let's divide 42 by 2 again. 42 divided by 2 is 21. Okay, so that'll be on your calculator. So what you write over here is 42 breaks down into 21 times 2, and then times 2 here. So again, your 42 breaks into 21 times 2, then times 2. Now 21 is an odd number. We can no longer divide by 2. So now we're going to move over to 3 and start dividing by 3. So 21 divided by 3 gives us 7. Okay, so this tells us that 21 can be broken into 7 times 3. So 21 is 7 times 3. And we bring down our 2 here and our 2 here. And 7, 3, 2, and 2 are all prime numbers. So we have no more division to do. Okay. So those are all our factors of 84. Let's find the factors of 102. First, we start by dividing by 2. Again, this is on your calculator. So when you divide by 2, you're going to get 51. So 102 becomes 51 times 2. Okay. Now 51 is not an odd number. Sorry, it's not an even number. It doesn't end with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So we can't divide by 2 anymore. So we'll now divide by 3. And I know it can be divided by 3 because if you add 5 plus 1, you'll get 6. And 6 is in the 3 times tables. So in your calculator, put 51 divided by 3. You're going to get a 1 and 7. 17. So 51 is 17 times 3. Then times 2. All right, now that we have all our factors, 17 is prime, 2 is prime, 3 is prime, and 2 is prime. So we cannot divide anymore, other than by 1. So we're going to circle what's common. The 3 is here and here, so those are common. There's a 2 here and there's a 2 there. Those are common. And that's the last thing that's common. So we will say the greatest common factors, the greatest number of common factors would be 3 and 2. Those are the greatest common factors. And 3 times 2 gives us the greatest common factor of 6. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at 2 more numbers. 100 and 200. And so we'll begin with 100 dividing by 2. So 100 divided by 2 makes 50 on your calculator. So we're going to write here a little split here. 100 becomes 50 times 2. Okay. 50 can still be divided by 2. So we're going to take the answer 50 on the calculator, divide by 2, and we'll get 25. So 50 becomes 25 times 2. And we're going to bring down this 2. So now we have 25 times 2 times 2, or 100. We can no longer divide by 2 because this is not an even number. 5 is not even. So we'll look and see if we can divide by 3. Well, if you add 2 plus 5, you'll get 7. 7 is not in the 3 time tables, so we cannot divide by 3. We're going to move over to 5 and divide by 5. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. So what this means is that we'll have 25 becomes 5 times 5, and then we'll bring down the 2 and the 2. 2 and 2. And these are all prime numbers. 5, 5, 2, and 2 cannot be divided anymore other than by 1. Okay, so let's move on to 200. Okay, 200 can be divided by 2 here and becomes 100. So our 200 breaks into 100 times 2. Okay, next. We'll continue to divide by 2. So 100 divided by 2 gives us 50. So this 100 becomes 50 times 2. And then we're going to bring down this 2 here. So 200 now becomes 50 times 2 times 2. 50 ends in 0, so it still can be divided by 2. And if we divide that by 2, we'll get 25. So 50 breaks into 25 times 2. Now this 2 and this 2, we bring those down. Okay. Now 25 cannot be divided by 2 because it's an odd number, ends in a 5, not an even number, ending in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. And it cannot be divided by 3 because when you add 2 plus 5, you get 7. 7 is not in 3 time tables. So we're going to divide this by 5. 25 divided by 5 will give us 5. So here we can say 25 is 5 times 5. And then we're going to bring down the 2, 2, 2 next to it. 2, 2, and 2. Okay. And now we have prime factors. That means we can't divide them anymore. So we're going to find out what's common. Now what's common is this 5 matches this 5. This 5 matches this 5. This 2 matches this 2. And this 2 matches this 2. So let's write down the greatest number of common factors. Okay. The 5, that one is a common factor. This 5 is common. It's found in both places. This 2 is common. And that 2 is common, or should I say it's found in both places. Okay. So those are all the numbers that are found in both places. These are all common factors. And because we use all of them that were common, it's the greatest common factor. If we just used a couple of them, it'll just be some common factors. So the greatest common factor, let's see, 5 times 2, so this is 10. And 5 times this 2 gives us 10. So the greatest common factor ends up being 100.